workshop. Hello, hello. Ro, are you here? Hello, Ro.
Yeah. Hi. Ro here.
Hello. Hi, Ness. You still want to speak, Ness?
Sorry, I was putting my headphones.
There we
I'm
go.
here.
Our
I'm
little
here. I'm
hosting
here.
art.
I'm
Hello.
here.
Yep. So we're getting ready for work number 4. Oh, there we go. My voice is now
Oh.
breaking. We're gonna do Calatucci by C. Preferred pronouns are they them. So you want to want to comment or refer to the author, please use their preferred pronouns. There is no trigger content warning for this fic. So you guys enjoy. We're now gonna open the floor. Rika has already posted the first the the announcement on the workshop channel. So you guys are more than welcome to put in your thoughts, reactions. And now I open the floor for Ro to start.
Hey
Let's do this, Ro.
guys. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Excuse my gravely voice. I just
We
wanted to say
got you.
that we had a number of amazing work submitted. So thank you guys for that. Um.
Mhm.
So this one is called Kalachuchi.
Mhm.
I hope I
Do you
said
know
that
what
right.
Calachuchi is? Yep. So
Yes.
Calachuchi, for those who don't know, Calachuchi is it's a Filipino flower. It's kind of like the sakura blossoms in Japan. Not quite, but it sort of resembles that particular story. But particular flower. Sorry, I'm mixing up my words. Um. Yep.
But yeah, I actually like how title is it's derived from the symbolism of that they use with the tree, the Kalikuchi tree at the end when throughout the story. That's a really nice. I think it was cute. But basically, the story is written in journal entries by Hanji, like when she was very young, and um she talks about how her family moved to places. She basically talks to her mom at the beginning, I believe, because her mom passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just think the way Hanji writes like her journal entries was really cute. The way she signs off in the bottom, she always has a word and then her name. Like it depends on what she's feeling in the mood, you know. That was really cute.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So I definitely love the epistolary form. So epistolary is when you have a series of letters exchanged between characters. One story that I remember in particular that does this was Red Chestnut's Secret Society to the Children of the Forest. I don't know if
Oh
you guys have
yeah,
read.
yeah, that
That's
one.
a wonderful fic. It's also an exchange of letters between Gabby and Kaya in the story, and then but it's also talking about the love story of Levi and Hanji after the war. So I love those kinds of forms because it's like a fresh perspective on how we read fan fiction, especially with this particular story. It reads like it is a diary, and when we read diaries, hopefully, or with the permission of other people, if we're reading other people's diaries, it's almost like a dialogue because it's written in the first person point of view. There's an I that we're following, and I definitely stand those kinds of writings because I'm more of an essayist myself. So I guess the questions that I want to bring out here, feel free to like join or pitch in as well, Ro, is are we able to follow along the story as well as the relationship between Levi and Hanji in the story? And in what ways do they change or grow throughout the series of these letter exchanges? Yeah, and then by the way, just a quick note for those who are listening in, if you guys have any um, tweet or if you want to tweet about this particular event, feel free to use hashtag LHWW or Levi Handwriters Workshop on Twitter or on Tumblr if you have any quotable tweets or if you want to input or give some points of feedback as well. we'll definitely appreciate that. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Actually, I actually liked the flow.
Hmm.
Personally, I like the flow. How I like how we were learning through Hanji. Like Hanji was basically telling us everything that's happened. But I would have liked to seen more from Levi's perspective. We don't get
Yep.
his perspective until the end. But we do see how their relationship does progress from just like a simple like Hanji's curiosity towards Levi in the beginning.
Yep. Exactly.
Um and then their friendship which
Hmm.
blossoms, especially
Exactly.
throughout how like how Levi is shows her a lot of his that he does in the circus.
That
Um
too. It's like
and
it's like a, how do you call it? It's a very light reference, I guess, to Levi's underground days, because Hanji assumes that he's a thief or
yes,
he's a ghost. Yep, and
a ghost
eventually
actually.
Hanji gets to find out more and more about this person named Levi, and eventually she eventually wants to befriend him as
Yeah,
well.
and I like the way how we learn Levi. Like we obviously know it's Levi, but I like how they add like the reveal of Levi's name. How it was Hanji. She's like she signs off the entry with Levi's friend. That's really I think that was really nice.
Absolutely.
Um,
Do you guys
what
have
else?
any stories, or any parts of the story or an excerpt in particular that you enjoyed, or something that struck to you? We already have a few people leaving the workshops channel, which Ro and I will be reading in a few moments. But yeah, feel free to like pitch in as well of what you think about the story. What can you tell? How can you describe Levi and Hanji's personal background, their personalities, their families? Because it's really interesting, especially for this particular kind of fiction where we're reading um, the story and their own points of view, because we feel like readers who just happen to come across the letters. I don't know if you ever done that in your like lifetimes where we don't know what's going on, but we understand bits and pieces of the story as we go on, because there's so much intimacy being felt in exchange letter, because there are secrets being exchanged, memories being revisited, and you get to feel that as a reader. So yeah, I just want to ask, like, what are your thoughts on that? Feel free to like jump in, Ro, or if you have other points that you want to point out, that we can piggyback as well. Just feel free to do so. Just like assisting with the entire
We
event.
yeah. We actually get a lot of Hanji's personality. Obviously, it's her writing her thoughts, but like I just I like Hanji's characterization here because like she's young and curious,
Definitely,
a
exactly.
little maybe I
I
want
love
to
that
say
kind of innocence,
yeah. There's like innocence, a little bit of naivety.
naivety. Hmm.
Naivety. There you go. Um, as for Levi, there's a little bit of his aloofness. Um, but he is a more I want to say I don't know the right word, but he's a little bit more open in this fic. Like he invites her into the tent and stuff. Like
Yep,
he isn't as reclusive as he is in the canon universe, you know.
exactly.
But I am assuming that the his life would probably was different in this universe, you know. So maybe that has something to do with it. Um, but yeah. Um.
Sorry, 15 minutes left.
Oh,
Got you,
okay.
Jill.
Cool.
No
Cool.
problem. We've got a lot of time. What do you guys think about like the cultural aspects, the insertion of like these well, I guess since I understand like the Filipino elements here, does it aid you throughout the story, or do you think it needs more fleshing out if you're a reader who's not familiar with these kinds of elements? For context, the letters were written in the 1920s, so this was during the American occupation, if I wasn't mistaken. Feel free to correct me there, Filipinos, if you're here. This was during like the American occupation, if I'm not wrong. Um, it's when like there's a lot of things happening. Yeah, there's the American colonization. Hi, Chi, you want to speak?
Yeah, no, but you're
Ah,
right,
Chi.
ate. Hello po.
Yay!
That, you're right po dun sa American colonization and occupation.
Yep.
So, I
Hey,
think
I got
the tone and the language and that Hanji used in the letter entries, in her diary entries, was fit, uh, so on point on that particular part of the Philippine history. So, I just want to point that out too.
yep. So yeah, for me that's interesting as a premise. I mean, not because I'm a Filipino myself, but because there's this cultural aspect that's being dropped in the story, and we get to follow along that particular era and or at least time period and what's happening during those times. So I'm really interested in those kinds of stories. So if you guys have like it reminds me of like Levi Han, the Semana Levi Han. Hello, shout out to the Hispanics or Latinos here in the channel. Those who joined that about a week ago or two, where they were also able to insert their cultural perspectives in their stories, in their artworks, and I was really like super into those things because it really gives us a fresh perspective, being able to see their relationship in the eyes of other cultures. So yeah, so that's definitely one thing I definitely enjoyed in this story.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And I kind of picked up on it with,
yep.
like, Chili said, the language, like the use when she says that Levi didn't let her call him Kuya,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And also when she mentioned that they went to church as well. That is also something like that added to the, like, because I know that in many cultures that church is important.
Yep. There's a
So yeah,
religious aspect as well,
yes.
especially when it comes to these kinds of elements in the Philippines. Anyone else wants to add more points in the voice channel? We'll probably go ahead and start reading the comments that you left in the workshops channel in a bit. Anyone else wants to go on wants to unmute, you're more than welcome to do so. One. Hi, Moon.
Read some comments.
Yep.
1 second.
If not, we can start. Yep. It's in the workshop channel. Can you go there,
Yeah,
Ro?
I'm scrolling down. Okay, so Envy, she
Yep.
said that she loved the nostalgia it conveys from the start, the narration, basically the whole story. Um, and that the language fits with the diary entries. The characters that were portrayed were young, playful, in love. Um, it was easy to read. Once you get to the diary part, she enjoyed it a lot. Um, in the beginning, it could be clear if we knew who was speaking, but maybe that's part of its charm. The world building is represented by hints and brief mentions. The dates, Hanji's life, she has servants, her father will run for mayor, so he must somehow be wealthy, and Levi's situation. Yeah, there's not much actual dialogue, but we see, but that's okay. Yeah, most of the dialogue is through the journal entries. Um, they say that some things could have been made more explicit by adding more hints, like Levi's life. We know about his wounds. Wait, it just disappeared. 1 sec. His wounds and activities, but his motivations and actual crimes aren't clear by the end. Although we're certainly implied it. They were certainly implied. They found it pretty much seamless. If they had to add something, it would be improved by reminding how much time has passed without having to look at the dates. Some
Yep.
people tend to get lost counting, but that doesn't really matter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my shipper heart would love to see more, like reunion of the sorts, but um part of it's nostalgic and the tragic feeling comes with from the uncertainty within. It's up to the author. Yeah, I would.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see like the reunion, but the
It
open
would be so
ending.
sweet. Mhm.
Yeah, but the open ending was also like leaves it up to the reader, you know?
Exactly. So after you read Annie's comment, JB would also like to unmute and say something in addition, Ro. Yep.
Yes,
So
of
just
course, sir.
yep.
If she wants to speak right now, she can. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Gabby, you're
All
up.
right, so please excuse my mother in the background. But can I just say that I love of this being like in the format of like letters, or not, well, not exactly
Exactly.
letters, like journal entry, you know. Um, but yeah, I love the way the sign offs were written. There's like a different sign off for every entry, and it really depends on like her mood and everything, which really added to the uniqueness of this fic, because you don't usually get a lot of fanfics written in this kind of format. So
Exactly.
that's
That's
a
why I
very
cherish this kinds of format.
right.
I
It's a very
agree.
refreshing take. I was enjoying everything because it feels like for every time you finish the sign off written by Hanji, always want the next one and the next one. Um, sorry, my mom is like
Hi,
right here.
Tita.
Hi, Tita. But yeah, um, I did notice some sign offs. For example, I forgot which page this was. The sign off was, I think it should be confused with the D at the end, but that's just a very minor. Other than that, the tenses I think are aligned with each other. The word corrected.
Mhm.
I had a feeling that the author who wrote this was Filipino because of the kalachuchi,
Oh yes,
and then I saw the
it's a
kuya,
giveaway.
right? And then I saw the kuya, and I was like, you know what? This author is Filipino. I just know they're Filipino. And you did a great job delivering the culture of the country. So kudos to you for that. And I can't wait to read more of this. The only thing I really want right now from Levi's perspective, because it hurts. Okay, oh my god, you hurt. This is like fluffy and painful to read, and the balance is just perfect. So congratulations.
This story is a perfect balance of fluff and angst flanks.
Thanks. It's the first time I've ever heard of that word. Thanks. That's funny. Yeah, I think definitely it's really enjoyable because there's that nostalgia, there's that sentimentality in reading the story. I'm just gonna read more. Even Jess, hi Jess. Oh, she went out. The tree was so beautiful. There's like a lot of symbolisms in the story, and I'm just reiterating what Chili has said. Because of the Filipino elements, it really feels, how do you call it, provincial or like rural, I guess, um, in terms of setting, because there's a lot of description in the creeks, the tradition, the circus, the fiesta, which is like our festival, the Philippines, or I guess in a lot of like Latino or Hispanic um, countries. There's also the childhood and innocence of Panji that's so on point. Um, and as well as their awareness of what's right or wrong. So they're, even at that young age, they already have that kind of maturity. They're able to tell what's right and wrong. There's also Levi's duality here. He's a good kid, but there's also some circumstances in his childhood that leads him to steal from the Zoes. Kind of reminds me of this short Filipino story. It's one of the classics. It's called Bread of Salt or Pandesal in Tagalog. It's where this there's like this class disparity where there's this girl who's very rich and she's like the daughter of like the town mayor thing, and then they hold this festival and then they have this after party at their house where there's like a lot of music, a lot of violins, a lot of food, and then there's this boy who's like a kitchen boy. No, he wasn't kitchen boy. He's like a musician as well. He's part of like the mariachi. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. I guess we call it rondalla in Tagalog, where they're playing all these guitars and violins, and then in the end, he ended up stealing from the kitchen because he didn't have enough money to buy himself some food, and then the girl was able to catch him, and then eventually that the boy had like a sign of maturity, understanding that this is where I belong. This is who I am. This is what I am. This is the class disparity that's happening right now in my life, and he tends to become a better person in the future. It was like a coming of age kind of story. So it kind of aligns with the story as well, Calachuchi. But instead, it's more of like Hanji's story that we're following through. Um, and especially with like the dialogue and the language, Hanji's vocabulary is so formal. It tells a lot of where Hanji is coming from. She or they has a very particular upbringing, um, and the pacing is very great. And
Yeah,
then Chili's suggestion is that hopefully we get to see more of Levi's own diary overall, or maybe what Hanji thinks more of him overall at the end of the story.
yeah, maybe the author can offer Levi's perspective through letters to Hanji. Um, that would be cool as well. Or and I also agree with Cal when they said that um that they loved reading how the author characterized Hanji's writing voice and the depictions of young Hanji, because that was like, I feel like that was on point.
Sorry. 3 minutes left.
3 minutes. All right,
All
you
right.
want to wrap it out in 1 minute,
Three.
Ro, and then we're gonna do the author reveal so that the author themselves can provide more, how do you call it, perspective on their project and what they plan to do after this.
Um, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up with one more comment. Um, yeah, no, basically everybody's agreeing that they would like to see more diary entries from Hanji and Levi's perspective. But basically, I really enjoyed reading the story. It would be a really great one shot. Like I would, if it was possible, I would like spam it with kudos.
Me too. If only Ayo, if you would do that.
I know.
Love, love, love. All right.
All right,
Got anything else, Ro?
that's all.
All right, so we're now doing the author reveal. Dun dun dun. Let's do the drum roll.
Oh my gosh.
The author is Alan. Hi, Alan. You wanna mute?
Hey, Ellen.
Hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
You want to talk about your project? What you plan to do with it? How does the
Uh,
feedback help you? Do you have any references that inspired you to write this fic? So on and so forth. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
oh, okay, okay. It's
Your tongue tied.
the pressure is real.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. so, so this was actually an entry that I should have had posted months ago, last May, in for Levi Han Philo Week. The theme was childhood, and that was like the only fic that I have a draft of. And to be honest, when I joined the workshop, when I decided to join the workshop, I was making a draft for I'm gonna say a lemon theme. I'm with my family. Sorry.
That's okay.
And my friend was like, my friend was like, no, they won't accept that lemon fake, dude. So I was like, okay, so what am I gonna pass? So so then I decided that then I look at my drafts, then I saw fic, and that was actually a cram version. I have an ending in mind that wasn't. Hello, am I being heard?
Yes, we are.
I have
Yes,
an
you are.
ending in mind that
So,
wasn't that wasn't really that. I mean, I don't really like that ending. I have an ending I have in mind, but
you have an
really
alternative?
I'll set yeah. I have the original ending in my drafts, and then I
Interesting.
sent that one because I was because I was like to be honest, cramming. I was
That's
legit
okay. We all do
cramming
that.
for to send one. So yeah.
Okay,
So
alternate ending.
so for the reference, I think I am so sorry. So sorry, excuse me.
You're good. You're
So
good.
for
You're
the
amazing.
reference, I think uh that was May. The Levihan Philo week happened in May. So I was like Mayo in Filipino. And the first and I like song fix a lot. So
Seven.
I
I can tell.
opted to go to Kalachuchi by Muni Muni Abad from Abad. So yeah, that was really that's how it came first. Then I think from the fix that I read, I kind of like tweak it from like I'm getting this idea from this Filipino theme, and I just really love 1920s stories. I don't
So I
know
love
why, but
that.
yeah, I love
I like
1920s
historical
Philippines
fix. Yep.
Philippine yeah, historical fix from 1920s or like from 1920s to 1940s. That's really interesting for me. So yeah, I think that's how it goes. I
I
don't
really
know.
liked how
Oh my
you added. I really liked that you added like the circus element. That was really really fun.
yeah, like, I mean, I hope I did it better. I really wish I do. I mean, I could write it better. The circus really is supposed to be like uh, amazing. I mean, it's amazing in my mind, but I don't know if I wrote it well.
But
It's
it
beautiful.
was very
It's one.
whimsical.
Mm-hmm.
The vintage circus is like so fun.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Yep.
you.
No, thank you, Alan, for trusting your us. Definitely would like to see this work published somewhere in the open in the future. So yeah, thank you so much. So
Thank
Thank you
you.
that's
so much,
about it
Thank you.
for
Alan.
this. Mm-hmm.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
Ro,
the
as
help.
well. Yep.
Thank you for doing this.
I love you. All right. Well, moving on to the next piece. What's the next piece? Our fifth work is Untitled by Chiharu. Her pronouns are she, her. The fic is not complete, and there's like some graphic description of burns. Uh, so yeah, we're gonna open the floor now for the fifth work.
Okay,
Girl, take it from here.
so okay, this one okay, it is unfinished, but this one I did suffer a little reading
Mhm.
it. In a good way though, a good suffering.
That's true. It's like
Basic
one of those like, my heart is breaking, but I'm alive and
yeah,
I'm in love.
it's so good, you know? So basically this one is it the events that take place in chapter 132 and forward, where
Exactly. It's
Hanji is
a
supposed
canon compliant.
canon
Is that right?
compliant. There you
Compliant.
go.
Yep. That's the term.
Um, Basically, Hanji and Levi's roles are switched in the situation. Like Levi goes and to take to sacrifice himself to take down the colossal titans the plane can take off. And oh my god, I got teary eyed
Me too.
because like
It's like revisiting the entire
I
canon material
know.
over and over. But you see more descriptions, more interactions, and I think that's what we live for whenever we
Yes,
read these canon compliant works. Especially
yeah,
when we
and
already know
honestly,
what's gonna happen, but I still wanna read it because I wanna see like if there's anything that this author has inserted in the story that we really wanna dive upon, or if there's like a lot more, what do you call it, meditations, a lot more perspective in terms of the characters involved. That's why we really love reading these kinds of works.
yeah, exactly, and we get to see a lot of Hanji's like conflict when Levi sacrifices himself, and that is displayed well. When he's taking down the Titans one by one. Like basically she's watching him like burn, and like that's very like it's like makes you think that's exactly how what Levi witnessed in the actual canon story.
Face
Um,
Burned by Hamilton. You know that song, Ro?
yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Cries.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry after this.
But yeah, did you
And
enjoy the story? I
oh
don't.
my,
Were there particular scenes that stuck to you, or
yes,
things that you think was like very intriguing? It's very like, how do you call it? Interesting that the author has added this particular part of the
y-
story and
I
flesh it out even more.
yes, I really like how the author switched the roles because like I don't haven't really seen like any that have done that, but I like how they didn't kill off anyone just yet, but it is unfinished, so we don't know until they finish it. Um,
Like, how is this
and
gonna finish?
and
Without my heart breaking into pieces again.
I know I really spare us, author, please. um, but I really the also the descriptions like ooh, it made me cringe really badly because they're very accurate descriptions too, like, and it just makes you hurt for Levi and hurt for Hanji, who's having to, in the moment, tend to Levi's wounds on the plane. Oh my god. And also towards the end when Hanji orders Mikasa and Piek on
Yep.
to go on Falco
Hmm.
when um the gas was released, that also opened another wound because it literally ends right
It's just us
there.
forcing out our pain in the
Yes,
voice
I'm like,
channel.
okay, so you're gonna burn Levi, and then you're gonna leave us with Hanji just watching them fly away. And she's like, and the quote that she says, she's like, "Damn, I don't really want to die, but what else do I expect from being in the Survey Corps?" And she goes, "Well, at least I'm turning. Well, I'm glad that at least I'm turning into something that I'm passionate about." I'm like, wow, wow. I was like, ouch.
Definitely.
But yeah, and also the I know a lot of people talked about this, how Hanji would have loved to seen all the previous Titans and also seeing Falco's flying Titans. I really liked that scene, how she was like taking it all in, but she couldn't really enjoy it at the moment because like everything was like going really fast and like they had like a job to do, like basically they're trying to save the world.
Yep, that's true. It's like it's the entire, what do you call it? That entire relationship and that entire tension of like, would you do your duty to your nation, or would you choose love above it all? And it's always like that painful contradiction where they have to give up. They have to like sacrifice their love for like saving the world and all that stuff. And it's always like hurtful and at the same time, what do you call it? Mind opening when you see how
Yeah.
selfless they both are. Um, especially when they're always choosing duty over love. Sav, if you're here, make say
Oh my god,
something.
yes,
This is your
Tab.
turf. It's like
This
painful
is
as hurt Levi. It's checking all the boxes that you always look for in all your fix.
so she would
15 minutes left, guys.
Yep, 10 minutes. We got this. Let's do this row.
yeah, no, Sab would love this fic. I hope she read it.
Yep.
But
Yep, you got something to say, Ro?
no, go
In
ahead.
terms of like I guess in terms of like revision points, hi Sav. Do you wanna mute? And this is like your pick that you're probably gonna enjoy the most. In terms of word choice, I guess in terms of the, just revisions as well. Um, I think that there's a lot of like tension already. There's a lot of angst. There's a lot of scenes that will definitely make us cry. So I feel like word choice is important. Precision is important. I encourage the author to like use simpler words if they're gonna revise certain sentences. Um, always this like this one, like Hanji looked at him, tears shining from her eyes, but never daring to come out without her permission. I feel like you can shorten it to like Hanji looked at him with tears in her eyes instead of like tears shining from her eyes, because we already get it. We already get that Hanji's crying. We already get that in the context of that scene, they have to like sacrifice each other again, each other's like lives once again. So I
Like,
guess if it helps, like there's always the thesaurus or just Google search, look for synonyms. If you have like if you can like cut off some of the words that seem unnecessary, if you think there's a lot of descriptions that aren't really, how do you call it? They don't really help push the plot even further. Um, I guess that's also an exercise for the author to practice minimalism if they want to go for that kind of angle. But otherwise, if you want to do the other end where you're more taken to describing the scenes, the emotions, then by all means do so. I feel like that those are like two options that the author can go, what do you call it, can go forward. Um, if they want to do it in a more minimalistic manner, or they want to expound on the world building, on the scenes, on the feelings. There's a lot of potential for that.
and since it's like like fast paced, pretty much,
Yep,
like if they wanted to, they could simplify it more to leave more room for the world building.
yep, definitely.
But
Anyone
yeah,
else? Yeah,
but yeah,
go ahead.
the descriptions were pretty good.
Definitely.
Um,
Yep. So let's read Annie's comment. It's Annie says, Annie definitely
okay.
enjoyed the new take on chapter 132. I actually forgot what chapter this is. I just know this is the part where they say goodbye to each other.
Yeah.
How much I wish it would happen this way. Same, Annie, same. The tone and language works for Annie. It's the characters are very full to manga, and then you can see Levi's heroism and resistance, Henry's obstinacy and love for Titans. It's a very easy read, according to Annie. Definitely enjoyed it a lot, and it really vibes with what we know from canon. And I think that's what we love about works that refer to canon material. Um, it's really like being able to see it from a new perspective, with new descriptions, of like the feelings and the internalizations of the characters.
Yeah.
Annie adds that she doesn't remember clearly if hospitals were working during the rumbling, but it does follow close to the manga and gives a new perspective. So when it comes to improvement, Annie recommends to just fix some minor mistakes here and there, just some typos easily solved with a check. So if you guys are gonna send in your PDF with your comments, you can feel free to like do a proofread and just mark anything that you think will help the writer in proofreading their work. So there's a most typos are usually solved with a check. There isn't much more to add. And then Annie also recommends using clearer dialogue tags when a different person speaks. So yeah, I agree with that. Just if the author can indent like a new paragraph every time there's a different person speaking in this particular scene, and that would clearly help. Um, and then going deeper into Hanji's psyche is also helpful because you get to flesh out Hanji's personality ever more on what they're going through in this particular scene. And same thing with what I said before. It could be more seamless by deleting some extra words and just avoiding redundancy. It will definitely help with Sarus, or if you guys are familiar with reverse lookup. It's
Yeah.
here. Yep. I have one look. Yep. So it's a very helpful tool for writers.
It's like finding for like
Yep.
synonyms and
Yep. It's
antonyms.
like a synapse. Yep. So it's also like if you want to write about burns or like fire, it's gonna give you like
Mm,
all words related to those words. So it's really helpful in that manner. If you want to write about horseback riding, they're gonna give you all the terminologies that you can use for horseback riding, like the saddle, the stirrups. I don't know being used in those terms. But yeah, so the beginning is really important for me because it really throws us directly into that important moment. We already know, like, just the start. This is the part where um the Titans are like about
It
to like
sets up the
reach them.
scene.
Yep, you know, like this is it. This is the chapter that
Like,
the
yeah.
author is referring to. Pace is fine according to Annie. It's very straight to the point, easily in one sitting. The ending is kind of the middle of a crucial moment. I agree, because I think that's the part where it diverges from canon. But all the same, we like it much better and conclusive if it's extended as far as the end of the fight, even with a little hint of the future. Um, Actually, I forgot if this is gonna be a multi-chapter fic or if it's like a 1 to 2 chapter kind of story. Maybe
Unfinished
we can
story,
ask.
rather.
Yeah, we can ask the author later to reveal. Yes. You got anything else to add, bro?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, like, I would like to see in, I don't know how they're going to finish it, but I would like to see, like, if like if they're going to work with the, the time jump that the does, you know, see if they're gonna go through that. But other than that, I actually enjoyed reading it.
Me too, definitely. How much
I,
how much time do we have left, Jill? Hey, Jill.
6 minutes.
oh, okay.
6 minutes. All right.
Yes.
So Gaby wants to speak. Go ahead, Gaby. Unmute yourself.
Gaby.
Yeah,
Yep,
since 6 minutes
Gaby. Go
short
ahead.
and simple. This was a very painful thing to read. Okay, chapter 132, getting rewritten. It's just like angst, and then another like source of angst. So, good
Just
job
stabbing us
on
again.
yeah,
We'll never
yeah,
run out
good
of
job on
angst in
delivering
Attack
the
on Titan.
angst in this write up. But yeah, with the word choice, since shorter sentences are encouraged to put in feeling of action, because action happens quite fast. Like you could almost miss it. So don't worry about impressing others with fancy words. You don't always need high sounding, almost highfalutin words to impress someone,
Exactly.
right?
Simple descriptions are work really well with action scenes.
Exactly. Exactly. Unless
Since
this
this is
would,
like an action
yeah.
driven story, it works well
Yes.
with just focusing
Mm-hmm.
on like what's happening.
All
Um,
right, that's for sure. And so, if for us to avoid repetition, especially with the sentence construction of subject and then the verb and then the action or like whatever action being done, you could utilize different kinds of sentences. Perhaps adverbs would be really great to really add in the extra spice in your writing.
Hmm.
Uh, ended on a very you have to really feel it anymore, I guess. I'm pretty contented with how it ended. It's quite open-minded. I mean, open-ended, but you already know what's going to happen. So it adds to the factor of pain that we all know what's going to happen and none of us can stop that. And that's really good in angst. I think a little bit of tweaking here and there would really take it to the next level. But that this is a very promising write up. So kudos to you, and I can't wait to give this the love that it deserves. So congratulations, author.
yes,
Yes,
congratulations, author.
congrats.
Want to wrap it up, bro, and then we'll open the floor for the author to speak.
All right. I'm excited to see where this story is gonna go. I'll be keeping an
Me
eye
too.
out for it. So be preparing the kudos. But yeah, we can reveal the author now.
Yep. Alrighty. So drum roll. Our author is T, or like a golden-hearted
Oh my
SNK
god.
fan. Hi T. You wanna
Yes.
unmute and like explain your project? What inspired you to write this fic? Um, how do you want to go about this when revising? Where do you want to? Do you plan on publishing this? Just talk about your work and
Also,
um, how
why do you choose to hurt us?
hurt us. Hi T. You wanna unmute? Hello?
T? Oh, they said that they can't speak right now. They're just gonna
Oh, they
type.
can. Okay. So we'll just wait for T. Gabby, talk while you're here.
Why am I gonna talk? But
Yes,
yeah,
I need
T. Okay, wait.
I,
T is here. Hi, T. I mean,
yep, she's
typing in
gonna
the
type.
event chat.
Gotcha.
Wow.
I
There we
can see
go.
so many comments about pain.
Pain and angst. Oh my gosh.
My
I don't know what to
honestly,
ask T. So like you can take the floor thing. But there we go.
Take it away, T.
I don't know where we're supposed to be looking. See, are you gonna type in the event chat or the workshop?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Said that this is incomplete, so there's more plot to come.
Yep. It's expected, but we're really excited to see how like it unfolds throughout the story. If ever it diverges from canon material, if ever they both get to live in the end, that would
If
be
this
nice.
big, if
But if the author also decides the other way, we'll support you.
we'll support you either way, author.
Yep. So T doesn't feel like spoiling it. That's fine, but it still will follow the canon events. Oh, great! More angst, more pain.
Yeah, we have people who are begging
We
for the
love
end.
you, nevertheless. Yep. I think. What other works do you remember that are like canon compliant and canon divergent?
Hmm.
In terms of fics, I just remember just quintessentially Mies. What's the name of that fic? There's the one where Henry takes care of Levi after they jumped into the river. Forgot the name of the title. A Simple Choice. Thanks, Gabe. Where you get to see more of the interactions between Levi and Henry in the forest
Oh my god,
and
yeah,
how
I
it
like that one.
yep like that. That was a real beautiful fic. There's a lot of scenes that weren't included in canon, but ever since I read that story, I'm like, this story is canon to me. It
Yeah.
happened in the back end.
And he
uh,
said that I'll also make sure to make it simple as suggested.
Definitely.
And
I think
thank you that yeah.
a lot of people have sent in their feedback as well. Some of them have comments for you as well, so we're gonna forward it to you after the end of the workshop. Do you have anything else, Ro?
No, I think we pretty much hit every point. Honestly, thank you for this entry, T.
Yep. Thank you so much, C. I hope you
It
keep
was
writing.
very impacting.
Exactly. It's that kind of fic that just gonna leave some more. It's gonna leave a mark on us, and then we're just gonna remember it throughout the
Yeah.
end of throughout our day. Like,
And
it's
I'll
painful.
be sending them my therapy bill.
Yep. Don't do that.
I'm just
You
kidding.
can't pay for it.
She's like, no, please.
No, please. Here's a mop. Wipe yourselves with it. Oh, I
All
can't pay
right.
for your therapy. All right. Are we ready for the next word?
Yes.
Yeah, time's up.
Yay! Right on time.
On
Thanks,
clock.
Will. Yay!
Awesome.
On clock. All right, so we're gonna move to the sixth story. It's Little Mermaid by Philo Jess. I wonder who that is. I don't know if you guys have encountered this story, but it's already posted actually on AO3. So this is like a part of the fic that the author has written. They
Yeah,
just
and
want to
also
see.
it
They
also
just want to ask feedback. Yeah,
it also includes the outline for the
exactly.
plot. So that was fun to go through. And it
Yep.
has and also there's the two chapters. Honestly, I was really excited to read this one
Hmm.
because
Me too.
mermaids and Disney and Leave Behind. So
Yep. I like
um
stories. How do you call it? They're an AU, but they're based on a movie or like
like
something
a
that we already
crossover.
know. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like a crossover on its own. All
So
right.
like
So let's
the
open the floor. Bro.
the
Sorry.
plot was like already generally easy to follow. Like it's a beloved um a beloved story that most of us have seen, I hope. Um
Yes. For those who haven't watched The Little Mermaid, what are you
oh my
doing?
god, please watch it. No, but it's like one of my favorite Disney movies. So like I love the choice that they did to insert our favorite ship in it. So um I also liked how in the first chapter they had like a sort of prologue explaining like their own world building, like the the Eldia, the nation, like it used to be above water, and then a
That's true.
meteor a meteor happened and then forced everybody underwater. So that's pretty cool. And also the flashback with Levi and his mom. They're discussing like mermaids and stuff. And um Mommy Kusho, um I basically she um explains how she's seen like mermaids before. Like not her, like she knows somebody um who encountered mermaids. That was really cute. Really cute. Like just like it provides backstory, for for this for the original plot.
Yep,
But
that's true.
I actually like the use of the song too. Part of your world. That scene was
Oh,
actually really nice.
brings back
Um,
childhood.
yeah, like she like um just puts it in the dialogue, so like it's sort of like a song fic, but it's not like a whole uh a, a whole sequence. You know what I mean? But I also like how Masa is um Levi's sister in this one. That adds a nice touch to the story. Um, sorry, I'm like all over the place right now.
That's fine. I think it's also wonderful that it reads like a fairy tale. It's like a children's story on its own.
Yeah.
Actually, it was funny. Like same thing that Gabrielle said. She's laughing that Erin as a bird made her laugh.
Yes, I love
Oh,
Erwin
Erin.
Guttle.
That's
Like
like
that was
funny.
like it's like a meme that
Hmm.
like
Oh
only the
yeah,
fandom will get.
buckle. Exactly. And it's funny.
Um,
It's really interesting as well. That this is set in like the Little Mermaid world, especially since a lot of us have already watched it or seen it when we were younger, when we were little, and like you definitely enjoyed it. Um, on
it's
it.
definitely nostalgic.
Exactly. So I guess it's also there's also like a usual question that a lot of writers usually bring up when there's movie adaptations or remakes, because it happens all the time. We watch a lot of movies that are like adapted from another form of art, whether it's like TV series or like a novel,
Yeah,
and
like
some of them do
yeah.
remakes. Yep. You remember one in particular, bro?
Yeah, like they did I know they did a recently. I don't know, a few years. I don't know if it was recently, but it was like a TV show that's based on the Beauty and the Beast story, but they modernized it, made it more dramatic.
Have you watched She's the Man? The one with
The
Amanda
movie.
Bynes. Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
one with the soccer. Do you know what it's based on? Like which story it's based on? Do you remember?
I actually don't know. I haven't seen. I've seen that movie like years ago, but
Yeah, it's a funny one. It's based there's the 12 Tempest, or there's like a switching
oh
of
wow,
roles. Yep. So
okay.
somebody pretends to be another person, and then that person like fulfills the role of this missing person. It's very funny. I remember that story clearly. Um, it's even like it's also common in like a lot of Filipino dramas where we just do a remake of like Spanish or Hispanic telenovelas, Mexican
Oh yeah,
telenovelas.
yeah,
Yep, so it happens a lot. So I now that we're there in that we're in this kind of niche story where it's a movie adaptation or it's a crossover with the Little Mermaid, I guess it's a challenge also to for the author to answer why must this story be retold in this manner in today's time. It's a very loaded question. And
yeah.
even a lot of like writers in like national workshops or in class workshops tend to have conflict, like they arrive on existential crisis when it comes to that question, because you really have to think about it, like why do we need to retell this story Why does Hanji need to be the Little Mermaid? Why does Hanji have to meet this charming prince named Levi? Um, Especially now that we know that they have their own world in the Attack on Titan. Is there something that we want to bring out? Is there something that we want to flesh out even further? Is there a class what do you call it? Disparity is that the term? That we also want to heighten in the story. We want to focus more on their interactions together, so on and so forth. So I
Yeah,
guess that's like something we can ask the question, ask the author if she's here. Why do we need a retelling of this in Levi Han's AU?
yeah, and honestly, if I were to associate a Disney princess with Hanji, it would most likely be Ariel
Hmm.
of her naturally curious nature. You know how she has her collection of the human world. She wants to know more about about humans and how they work and what's it like in on the surface and stuff like that. So it kind of fits.
Definitely.
Also, I want to add that on the second chapter, I really like how the author ended it at the end with um it was the scene with Zeke and his like henchmen, like like I know Zeke is like Ursula in this case, and
That's so funny.
yeah,
I can imagine singing for unfortunate souls.
yeah, they actually ended it with the poor
For
unfortunate
unfortunate
soul.
souls.
So I was like, oh my god, that's like so cool.
It's like shimmying with his tentacles.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like a giant octopus.
That's so. It's funny. But I feel like it's on point as well.
Honestly, and I really
Imagine
like
Hanji trading her soul, like her fishtail, for
oh my goodness.
for
I actually,
legs.
I actually like also Peaks, I don't know, like Peaks involvement, how is she's like like kind of like an unwilling accomplice sort of. So that's like an opportunity for a redemption arc maybe.
Yeah, it's true. I wonder like how I actually haven't read the entire Little Mermaid fic of Jess, the author, even though I know she's already published the entire thing on AO3. But I want to see like how the story coincides with what we already know in terms what's canon in Little Mermaid and what
Yeah.
we know in Levi and Hanji's interactions, like in canon material in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, just looking at the outline, I can see that she's um kind of following the skeleton of the original plot to Little Mermaid,
Mm-hmm.
but tweaking it to fit the characters and their original where they originally come from, like with the use of Eldia as the kingdom, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Definitely. We got Gaby who wants to unmute as well. Hooray, Gabby, I love you so much. Please do.
Gaby.
Oh, right
Okay.
now, I think is at the Rodon.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, go
Oh,
ahead. Yeah.
okay. I was just waiting. Interrupt anyone. But yeah, this concept hits very close to home since I love Ariel and I love Hanji. So like all of these good things in one fic. Wow, that's like I didn't read the outline just because I didn't want to spoil myself. So I didn't read any of that. I just went straight to the write up itself. I love it. The characterizations, like Aaron as the bird, just like I was having a stressful day and then I read, oh, Aaron's the bird. This makes so much sense. I love it. And yeah, I just love how in character they were. Um, Word choice is easy to read, writing style is easy to follow without compromising quality. Again, the intro could use perhaps a little more of show and tell, like perhaps of just telling us what happened to this ancient um, this ancient place or location, perhaps more detail, by using the senses, by integrating adverbs, like switching sentence constructions every now and then, just to provide a little bit more variety, because
Yep.
introductions are really important. It sets the tone for the entire write up. And yeah, other than that, I just love how fleshed out the outline is. I just scanned it. I didn't read it because I don't want to be spoiled again. But yeah, other than that, I can't wait to just like have the entire thing on hand and binge it, because The Little Mermaid, Levi Han AU, just sounds like a dream come. And like the author is like pretty clear, so I'm just gonna say I love you, author. You already know who she is in the code name. I wonder who this author is,
I
but yeah,
wonder too.
I don't know who this is. Like, who could be Philo named Jess? Like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know anyone.
I don't
But
know. Someone
yeah,
who's written a Little Mermaid fic?
I
Sounds
know, right?
familiar.
Sounds familiar, but like, I
Disney,
don't know.
Disney. Who's the Disney
Disney
princess?
princess, right? Really, really unknown. But that, um,
Sorry,
just a
9 minutes
little.
left.
I
Okay,
mean,
I'm almost done. Yeah, don't worry.
oh, go
But
ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead,
that's
JB.
all. Yeah, that's all that I'm gonna comment. So kudos to the author, who I still don't know.
Yeah. I also want to mention Rika's comment: petition for Ursula and Ariel, please, Zikan.
Yep. Well, now that we're reading the comments, let's move on to like the comments that people have left on the workshop. Like, feel free to add more if you guys have some. But let's start with Annie. Annie says she loves the plot, maybe because she's such a Disney person. Same here. Uh, it's very well adjusted to the canon characters, and there's like the right amount of humor in the story. The tone and language also works because it conveys that this Disney feeling, maintaining the right atmosphere. And then Hanji is just being Hanji. She is such a curious being, which perfectly aligns with her Attack on Titan self. And that makes sense, because Ariel in Little Mermaid is also that kind of person who wants to venture into the unknown, who wants to try different things, who wants to be adventurous, and it makes sense now that I think more about it. It does remind me of Hanji a lot. Her willingness to explore the world and fascination with humans is very on point. And then Levi here also has a good foundation, but we still have yet to see more of him. So I guess that's also something that the author can explore even more. Like, what does Levi do? Um, how does he interact with other people? When he and Hanji finally meet, how are their interactions like? So I guess it's pretty easy to understand because the prologue already explains a lot. So even if someone's unfamiliar with the original movie, people like that even exist can get
Yeah,
it.
they would probably most likely get it, even if they
Yep.
haven't read the story.
Yep. Yeah, because like Annie said, I also enjoyed it to no end, and we're also waiting for more. So the world building is very clear. It's although it can be made richer even more if we dive into like the castle's life or demeanor, which I think we're gonna see more in the next chapters. And then the dialogues are okay. I guess when it comes, this is my opinion, or this is my comment, is like with the prologue. I think it's really nice if the author can focus more on make it sound more like, I don't know if you guys have read like mythology or like legends, where it's
Hmm.
very call it how do you call it? It's very mythical and it's very
Yeah,
sci-fi. Is that how? Do you get it? Do you get what I'm
whimsical.
saying? Yep, it's very
Yeah,
whimsical. Like, it's very magical on its own.
yeah. For
So
the prologue, I would
mhm.
like to see more like imagery,
Yep,
like Gaby said, like show and tell, like maybe
definitely.
the ruins of
Oh yes.
after the meteor
Yep.
struck the kingdom and stuff. Like that would be a nice addition.
Yep, exactly. And it's, especially when it comes to world building, just because you're doing world building doesn't mean you can't inject emotions in your world building or in the descriptions that you provide. Especially if you write about like how Elja is now in ruins, how it's used to be like a super nice place with like luscious flora, unique animals,
Mm,
advanced technology, but now it's like, they call that, it's like there's a disaster that happened and now it only exists in children's storybooks and urban legends. So I don't know, I guess it's I'm inviting the author to be more how do you call it, descriptive, or be more particular with their word choices, make us feel that Elja, which was once this super beautiful place, is now just something that people have forgotten in history books. So
Yeah,
make us feel that it's history, at least in this particular world, that a lot of people have already forgotten.
yeah, and I actually agree with Anna's comment about how the natural selection and evolution,
Yep.
as that results into them basically turning into mermaids. I think that was like a more realistic kind take to it than the like how Disney does. You know how Disney's like very magic based and stuff like that.
Yep. Oh, do you know like the real ending of Little Mermaid, and what's
The
the name of the
gruesome
original?
ending.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah,
gruesome one.
yeah.
It's like so dark. I'm like,
I
I'd
was like,
rather watch a Disney
wow.
film.
I was
Yeah,
like,
the one
wow,
where she turns into
Disney.
sea foam.
Yeah, Disney. I was like, Disney handled this very well.
Yeah, I remember that. And then I've watched like Pirates of the Caribbean, where well, I guess they're sirens in that film, but the
Oh
mermaids are
yeah,
like super vicious. They lure all the fishermen into the waters, and then they
yeah.
take them into the depths of the sea. And I'm like, that's not the mermaid that I know.
I actually do like the version of like sirens.
Yep.
Basically, I think that one is pretty cool. But this is more Disney approved.
Yep. Disney friendly.
you know,
Hmm.
we don't want kids running out of the theaters.
Exactly. I guess this particular also caters more to like the general audience.
Yeah, the like it's just the general lore of mermaids, basically.
Exactly. Do we have
3 minutes
comments?
left.
3 minutes?
All right,
Yes.
we
All
want
right.
the author to come on.
So
Is
the
she here?
author isn't here, but it's Jess, or like
Okay.
Lucilvion. Yeah, round of applause for Jess.
Yeah, good job, Jess.
Unfortunately, yep, she has to be with her right now. Maybe you can just wrap it up, Ro, and then we'll
Yeah,
take
you
a.
mentioned.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's fine. It happens.
Yeah,
One.
you mentioned that she already uploaded it on AO3, like the full story, or she's still updating it.
I'm sorry. What was it?
That you mentioned that Jess already um uploaded
Yes,
it
I
to
think.
AO3.
I think so. Yeah, she finished it, if I remember
Okay,
correctly. Yep. So
so
the story's finished. I
yeah.
think she's in the process of like rewriting certain scenes. That's why she sent
Mm-hmm.
it to the workshop. And I guess that's the part where we come in and help her out in revising certain parts
Okay,
of the
yeah.
story. Yep.
Now
So
then,
yay.
I will be binging that.
Exactly. I think it's
and
a
just
wonderful thing about these workshops. It gives us like a lot of opportunity to provide feedback, and at the same time to read other people's works and to understand the writing style, the writing processes. It's really wonderful.
yeah, honestly, like it was the writing in this one I really enjoyed. Like it was simple,
Yep,
but it didn't really hold your hands. But yeah,
it's very enjoyable. All right.
thank you, Jess, for writing this.
Yes, thank you, and thank you, Ro, for helping us facilitate the next works. What work is this? 5 to 7? Did I count it right? No, 4 to 6.
46.
I'm like
Yeah.
lost now. Yep. So we're gonna take another 5 minute break. Another. Let's give a round of applause for Ro as well. She's amazing.
I love
You really
doing
gave a lot
this.
of
Thank
parts.
you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much. Yes. If you guys want to help out as well, since I'll be facilitating work 7 to 9, please do.
Yeah,
Because I
of
can't
course.
work. I can't write. I can't 20 minutes straight.
Yeah, to take a good
Let's take a
drink
good
of
break.
water,
I will, and I need to use the bathroom as well. All right, so we're gonna take another 5 minute break. It's currently 12:24 in my time right now. Let's get back here like 12:30.
All right.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes.